What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about the British Post Office scandal. So, as an American, I had no idea there was any kind of scandal or controversy involved with the British Post Office, but I have to say, now I'm intrigued. And I actually have a quote here about this, and apparently, this has been called one of the greatest miscarriages of justice in British history. So, you have my attention. So, let's take a look at the British Post Office scandal and exactly what happened.
By the late 90s in the UK, the Post had computerised its accounting and stocktake system with a software called Horizon, developed by a Japanese technology company, Fujitsu.
Okay, oh my gosh, we are jumping right into this. We're talking about the 90s. This goes back all the way to the 90s, where the British Post Office is like making everything starting to run with computers and stuff. Makes sense? What could possibly go wrong?
So the initial design was to ensure that when people come in to withdraw the state pension, that payment gets paid. Over the counter, you will sell stamps, you will take in parcels and charge for those parcels.
Okay.
So relatively simple transactions.
Okay. So the British Post Office actually takes care of paying out British citizens' pension checks. I didn't know that. That's kind of important, you know? Other than that, they're talking about, like, I don't know, distributing mail, selling stamps, just normal post office stuff.
It was supposed to bring the post into the modern age, but it quickly started causing headaches for hundreds of sub-postmasters.
Really? Really? Headaches? How's the software causing headaches? This is supposed to make everything easier, right? But I guess when all this stuff was first, getting invented and getting implemented, there's bound to be some hiccups, right? Somehow, this is more than a hiccup. This is one of the biggest miscarriages of justice in British history, so...
Major shortfalls started in around 2008, and I had reported them, and nothing was done about it. So it was about that time I realized there was something wrong with computers. The Horizon screen was here. Yeah, the processor was down on the floor. There was a keyboard. And
the Post Office said he was ultimately responsible, asking him to pay back the money or risk being prosecuted.
How much of your own money did you put back into the system?
Wait, what? Wait, what? What's going on? This man worked at a British post office using this system, and somehow this system was not correctly paying out money? And he had to make up that payment with his own money? Wait, hold, stop. What's going on here? What?
Post Office said he was ultimately responsible, asking him to pay back the money or risk being prosecuted.
How much of your own money did you put back into the system that you didn't have to?
More than £75,000. First I put in £10,000 in 2008. Then I had to cash in my Royal Mail pension, and I...
Wait, what? I feel like I'm missing... Did I miss something? Why is he paying $75,000 into this system that's supposed to make mail, sorting easier? What is going on?
I had to sell my wife's gold and had to borrow £10,000 from my sister to make the books balance.
To make the books balance? What? Was this happening to, postmasters all over Britain? What? I am so confused, and this is outrageous. How are you... In what world are you having to pay $75,000 back into your, like, mail system? Why wouldn't the British government, like, be taking care of this problem?
To tell the inquiry the whole truth.
But evidence heard at an inquiry suggests that when Vipin was paying thousands to balance the books, the Post was already aware of bugs in the software. Jason Coyne forensically investigates IT systems.
I was brought in as an independent expert witness to look at allegations relating to some transactions during summer 2000. There were 61 separate incidents that were clearly down to the Horizon system being faulty.
61 separate instances where their new mail Horizon system is being faulty. It's not correctly calculating the financials, the bookkeeping. Why would the post office manager have to pay out of their own pocket to balance these? Would they have been like shut down if they didn't? So this system is screwing up. Like, it's actually not properly calculating like the finances of the post office. And so the owner or worker in charge had to pay out of his own pocket to keep it going? Or that's insane. Am I understanding this correctly? This is insane.
But according to Jason, nothing was done with his report, and by 2011, the Post Office was as aggressive as ever, tracking down postmasters it accused of stealing from them.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is crazy. Like, it seems like we're living in like like everyone's gone mad. Is this real life? Why? Some people are reporting on this system encountering failures 60 separate times when this Horizon system is failing. But the post office, I don't know, the powers that be, rather than blaming the Horizon system malfunctioning, is going after these postmasters who work at the post office, accusing them of stealing the money or not properly keeping the books. Is this, am I understanding this correctly?
Nothing was done with his report, and by 2011, the Post Office was as aggressive as ever, tracking down postmasters it accused of stealing from them.
So I just went for the interview. I made up a false confession, so I told them a convincing story, and I thought nothing of it until the summons arrived.
Why? No, man, why? Why did you confess? They thought he was stealing, when he was really, like, putting his own money into it to make sure his post office didn't get closed down, I think. Then the police came after him, questioning about this, and he gave a false confession. I'm not sure why. Maybe he was just hoping this whole problem would just go away. But yeah, of course they're gonna summon you to court if you confess. Oh man, I feel kind of bad for this guy. I mean, what a horrible situation.
How close was it to you going to jail?
Very close.
Wow.
In cases like mine, people would normally get 3 years in prison.
Wow.
Vipin walked away with an 18-month suspended sentence, but his life was destroyed.
I'd like to say life has not been very kind to my father, but I'd also say that post office has caused catastrophic harm to my father.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god, catastrophic. I just can't believe, like, the British government or the British post office, why were they accusing the postmasters of stealing when this glitch in their digital system was clearly happening all over Britain to at least 60 different post offices? Someone had even gone in and done a little investigation, but nobody cared? This is outrageous.
And he wasn't the only one. In fact, the Post had gone from convicting 2 to 3 people a year before Horizon to about 90 a year afterwards.
90? Like 90? 90, not 19. There's going to be no one left to run the post office. They're arresting all the post office managers. And they don't think anything is, like, out of the ordinary here? They're blaming them? What? This just seems like impossibly incompetent.
2 to 3 people a year before Horizon, to about 90 a year afterwards. In 2010, politicians were finally starting to take notice.
I thought there was something wrong here. We suddenly started seeing that there wasn't just one case, there were quite a few cases.
Yes!
Over 900.
Yes, oh my gosh, this is infuriating. Like, I'm glad this guy is, like, on the right side of this, but at the same time, it's like, is that really, it doesn't take a genius to see this. It shouldn't take, like, decades to note it, like, hey, we're arresting all of our postmasters. And they all became criminals in the last few years. Huh. Throw them in jail. It's like, really? You don't see any pattern emerging here? Or you're not conducting any kind of, like, quality or standardization tests on your system? Or what?
100, in fact.
Ministers just didn't ask inquiring questions, and they certainly just accepted what their civil servants and the post office was telling them. And on occasions, I think the post office lied to them.
Oh my, this is just a sad case of, like, people, a lot of failures on many different levels. People not reporting the correct information, people not caring about this problem, people not asking the right questions about this problem.
In 2017, sub-postmaster Alan Bates led a class action against the Post. He claimed, like Vipin, the Horizon system had malfunctioned.
Yeah.
Alan Bates, who's done a fantastic job of highlighting the cases, more and more came out of the woodwork.
I'm just surprised. Shouldn't there be, like, a way to go into the Horizon system and do an audit of all the transactions and see where a malfunction could have occurred? Isn't there a way to look at that? Like, go in and just analyze the system, or no?
In 2019, it was ruled that there was discrepancies and the Post should pay victims 120 million Australian dollars.
Yeah.
This has been the result of many years' work to achieve justice for over 550 people.
Oh my gosh, at least 550 postal workers. That one guy they were interviewing before, like, lost his job, was placed under arrest or convicted and sentenced to, like, 18 months of probation, I think. Ruined his job, ruined his life. Like, oh my God. At least there's some, like, they eventually found this and there was some justice maybe, but this is just like a truly embarrassing sort of controversy that this was allowed to happen.
The Post didn't have to admit liability, and due to legal costs, many victims are still not better off.
Wow.
They destroyed our whole life.
Wow.
What kind of people are they?
Earlier this year, the story became the subject of a blockbuster drama, Mr. Bates versus the Post Office.
Because they don't want everyone knowing what I know.
What? They actually made, like, a movie about this? Really?
Which is? That the fancy new computer system that they've spent an arm and a leg on is faulty.
Is that what this is about? Is that what this is all about? The post office was embarrassed or upset or so arrogant they would not admit that the fancy new Horizon post office system didn't work and it had bugs. What, they spent too much money on it and they just wouldn't listen to 500 different postal workers? They'd rather just put their head in the sand and be like, no, you all must be stealing from us. Like, oh my God.
UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak announced shortly after the program that victims would be swiftly compensated and exonerated. There'll be a new bill which will provide victims about 150,000 Australian dollars, but it's not yet clear when they'll be paid.
Oh my gosh, 150,000? I don't know how that translates into British currency. It doesn't even seem like enough for... Yeah. I mean, that one guy was saying he had to pay 75,000 of his own dollars to make the books balance in his post office because of all the mistakes it was saying. Oh, wow. The fact that he felt like he had to pay the balance because the system was saying his post office owed $75,000. That's so sad. Oh my God. And if he didn't, he'd be like put in jail or shut down. And this is, yeah, thinking about how horrible this actually is. They certainly deserve compensation. More than 150,000, because that's barely going to pay for what they were putting back into the post office and for losing their jobs, losing their livelihood. That's like 1 or 2 years' pay at best, right? Like their lives were ruined.
MP Kevin Jones is on the advisory board for the compensation scheme.
We've got to make sure that those compensation payments are speeded up. We have a meeting next week actually to make some suggestions exactly how that should happen, because the sad thing is people are dying waiting for compensation.
So the Post Office inquiry gets underway again in just a few minutes' time. Let's cross...
Vipin Patel is fully aware that he may never see justice, but he and others are eager for this to act as a cautionary tale.
I never thought computer could make mistakes. The thought never crossed my mind. I feel my life has been wasted because to date I've spent 37 years working with the post office or having difficulties for their actions. So I'm 70 years old, 37 years of my life gone without a meaningful reason for it.
Isn't that the saddest thing? The saddest thing is all that pain and all that suffering, and in the end, no real resolution, no real explanation, no real, compensation. That is sad. Oh, and there we have it. That's the end. Just like that. On such a high note. Oh my gosh. This really was a scandal. Oh my gosh. I had no idea about this. I don't know if this was big news in the UK at one point. I'm sure it was. In America, never heard of this. Never heard of this. This is... Wow, that's kind of sad. That's very sad. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. All you can do is kind of listen to the story and learn from it. Or never trust technology again. Or something. I don't know what lesson we're supposed to take from this, but that was really interesting. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on the British Post Office scandal. If you heard about this or know anybody affected by this, that'd be very interesting to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to British culture and stuff about Britain I've never learned before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.